In tonight's lesson, we'll be relating distances on the number line to subtraction and absolute value. Here's our learning objective for tonight. I can understand that finding the distance between two numbers on a number line can be found by taking the absolute value of their difference. And I know that's a lot of words, so let's talk about what that means. If I take a look between -4 and 3 on the number line, you can see that the distance is 7. -4 is 4 units to the left of 0. 3 is 3 units to the right of 0. So what is the total distance between? There's 7 units between them. Well, mathematically what you can do is you can take the difference between -4 and 3, find out what that difference is, take the absolute value of that answer, and you'll come up with a +7. The distance on the number line is the same as the absolute value of the difference, subtracting the two given endpoints. So let's just work that out. First of all, we know when we're dealing with subtraction, step 1 is to rewrite as an addition statement. So -4 minus 3 is the same as -4 plus a -3. Change your subtraction to addition, change the sign of the number being subtracted. Then you circle the sign that goes with the number. You ask yourself, are those signs the same or are those signs different? Those signs are the same. I'll find the sum. The sum of 4 and 3 is 7. What do I have more of? I have 4 negatives. I have 3 more negatives. So all I have is negatives running around. So that will be a -7. That difference is actually a -7. Now I'm going to take the absolute value of that. Absolute value simply means your distance from 0 on the number line. -7 is 7 units from 0 on the number line. And it doesn't matter which endpoint you start with. Like you could start with the 3 and find the difference between 3 and -4. And that's what I've done here. Again, we take our subtraction statement, rewrite it as addition. Subtraction becomes addition, and you change the sign of the number being subtracted. Well, what's 3 plus 4? 3 plus 4 is 7. So we take the absolute value of 7. How far is 7 from 0 on the number line? 7 units. Therefore, the distance on the number line is the same as the absolute value of the difference between those endpoints, between the two given numbers on the number line. Let's try one more together. Let's connect the following distance between two numbers on the number line to absolute value of their difference. So first of all, between 5 and 14, you can count. There's 9 units between, so the distance between 5 and 14 on the number line is 9. Let's take a look at the absolute value of 5 minus 14, and then the absolute value of 14 minus 5. The absolute value of the distance between the two given numbers. The difference between the two given numbers. So again, we'll change our subtraction to addition. Change the sign of the number being subtracted. Circle the sign that goes with the number. There's no sign in front of that 5. I know to assume that's a positive. Are those signs the same or are those signs different? This one's positive, that one's negative. The signs are different. We'll find the difference. What's the difference between 14 and 5? That would be 9. Then you say, what do I have more of? Well, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positives, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 negatives. So I absolutely have more negatives. How many more negatives? I have 9 more negatives. So that would be the absolute value of a -9. Absolute value means your distance from 0. How far is -9 from 0? 9 units from 0. We can look at the opposite difference. We could take 14 minus 5. Well, what's 14 minus 5? 14 minus 5 is 9. Absolute value of 9 is 9. Either way, when you take the absolute value of the difference between the two given numbers, you'll get their distance on a number line. I'd like you to go ahead and try this one on your own. What is the distance between -7 and -2? So just draw it out on the number line, find the distance, then take the absolute value of the difference between those two numbers and show that you come up with the same answer. Take a minute, pause the video, try it out, and come on back. Okay, hopefully you paused the video. So we want to know the distance between -7 and -2 on the number line. Well, what's the distance between those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 units between -7 and -2 on the number line. Now let's hope when we find the absolute value of their difference, we come up with the same answer. First of all, we remember we need to change all subtraction to addition, change the sign of the number being subtracted. Then you circle the sign that goes with the number. Are those signs the same or are those signs different? Those signs are different. We'll find the difference. What's the difference between 7 and 2? That difference is 5. Next step, you think, what do I have more of? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 negatives, and I only have 2 positives. I definitely have more negatives. How many more negatives? I have 5 more negatives. So that would be a -5. What's the absolute value of a -5? Absolute value is just your distance from 0. How far is -5 from 0? 5 units. We can take that absolute value, try it the other way. So we'll take the difference now between -2 and -7. Change our subtraction to addition. Change the sign of the number being subtracted. Circle the sign that goes with the number. Are those signs the same or are those signs different? Those signs are different. We'll find the difference. And then we'll keep what we have more of. Well, we have 2 negatives, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positives. We definitely have more positives. How many more positives? We have 5 extra positives. So we're taking the absolute value of a +5. How far is 5 from 0 on the number line? 5 units. Therefore, you get 5. No matter which difference you find, once you take the absolute value, you will get the distance between -7 and -2 on the number line. Let's try a quick word problem. It says if the temperature drops from 7 degrees Fahrenheit, let's change this to a degrees Fahrenheit, sorry about that, to -9 degrees Fahrenheit, by how much did the temperature decrease? So first of all, drawing a vertical number line is often helpful when we're talking about temperatures. So I start up here at 7 degrees, and the temperature is going to drop all the way down. That temp is going to drop all the way down to -9 degrees. And the question is, how much is that decrease? Well, let's take a look at here. To go from 7 to 0, you decreased 7 degrees. To go from 0 to -9, you decreased 9 more degrees. How many degrees did you decrease? You decreased 16 degrees. So we know our answer should be 16. Now, the visual is often helpful. You could also do this mathematically. And how would you do it mathematically? As soon as you look and you're saying, I'm just trying to find the distance between 7 and -9 on the number line to figure out how much the temperature decreased by, that means I could just find the difference between 7 and -9 and then take the absolute value and get the same exact answer. So let's rewrite our subtraction statements as addition and change the sign of the number being subtracted. Are those signs the same or are those signs different? Those signs are the same. I'll find the sum. The sum of 7 and 9 is 16. Absolute value of 16 is 16, 16 units from 0. The second one, because you can write either number first. You take the absolute value after you've taken the difference, and either way, you'll come up with a +16. So here we change our subtraction to addition, and we change the sign of the number being subtracted. Circle the sign that goes with the number. Are those signs the same or are those signs different? Those signs are the same. We're going to find the sum. The sum of 9 and 7 is 16. What do I have more of? Well, all I have is negatives running around. I have 9 negatives here. I have 7 more negatives there. I have 16 negatives. And how far is -16 from 0 on the number line? 16 units. Therefore, that turns out to be a +16. What I'd like you to do this evening is I'd like you to simplify the following and be ready to share in class tomorrow. So I'm not going to go over this on the video. You're going to work these out on your own, bring them completed to class. Have a good night. Take care.